Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to 5 Questions With. Last week we had some amazing guests on the show, and boy, did we deep dive into their worlds. But here's the best part. We also uncovered their fun and playful sides. Our host, Scott Fullerton, has a treat for you today. You see, 5 Questions isn't just about serious stuff. We like to keep it light and quirky too. We ask questions that let our guests show their wonderfully unique and playful sides. Imagine this. What would they do if they woke up as a squirrel one day? Or what's their favorite ice cream flavor that describes their personality? It's all about bringing out their hidden quirks and having a blast along the way. We believe that even the most successful and accomplished individuals have a fun side, and we're here to celebrate that. So get ready to witness the fun and playful side of our extraordinary guests. You'll laugh, you'll smile, and you might just discover a thing or two about them that you never knew. So sit back, grab a drink, and get ready for the show.
Alrighty, guys, if it's Tuesday, it's time for 5 Questions With, and right back here in studio, I am honored to have the inspirational Miss Venus DeMars is back with us. If you missed our full interview last week, check it out below. We have so much more to talk about. She'll be back again, but one of the original glam rockers, punk rockers, one that really kind of set the tone for all of us LGBTQ musicians to follow. Venus, welcome back to Left to Straight Show. How are you?
Yes, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, well, we're going to do some 5 questions with you, and then we'll get you out of here. But you got to check out this last interview, and we're going to talk about the music next. But first, tell me about question number 1 here. We all know that musicians and actors and everything have lots of pre-show rituals, from wild to the same. Do you have any pre-show rituals that you've acquired over the years through all your performances everywhere?
My bandmates could be better at answering this. I get very nervous still, and I pace. I pace a lot. I don't talk a lot. I have to kind of work at staying calm. Those are my rituals. It's anxiety. Yeah, really. But what I've discovered is that having that little bit of anxiety allows me to stay on my toes and makes me very in the moment and very present. And if I can wrangle it, that is the best thing. And I always make a mistake on stage. I always do. And so I just have to know that. And when it happens, I have to get through it. And then everything is good. And the first note means everything works. Once the first note comes out, I feel at home on stage.
Oh, love that. All right, question number 2. If you were able to open for any of your heroes or any musical person, who would you love you and your band to open for? What concert would it be, and what would be your first song?
Oh my gosh. That's a lot. That's more than one question. Well, my biggest influence, David Bowie. If he was still alive, I wish I would have the chance to play a song or two before one of his performances. I would love to do that. And I don't know. He would be appalled, but I would probably try to do a cover of one of his songs on acoustic. I've done that. I do that now, but I would do it, and just because I am so he was the person that I followed. Yeah.
I don't think he would be appalled at all. I think he would be honored. All right, question number 3. Through all of your performances, your fashion has just been iconic. If you were stuck only wearing one color for the rest of your life, what would it be?
It's what I do now. Black. Yes.
The good old basic black. I like it. All right, and question number 4.
Okay.
You're from this glam hard rock world. What is maybe your guilty pleasure song that's maybe totally unexpected from a rocker like you?
Ooh. Oh. Well, I can't say a particular song, but I will say that um, I don't necessarily go with all the headbanging stuff. I have a channel that I love to listen to on my Pandora station, which is the Nick Cave station, and I put it on deep cuts because then I get all kinds of unexpected things, but it's all that kind of dark, moody energy, and I guess that would be something. And then another thing to throw something else is my spouse and I are season ticket holders to classical music. And so I go to classical music concerts, Mozart and Bach, and we have seats which are kind of up above and overlooking the orchestra. So I love doing that too. I love
That's
watching that.
amazing.
So
I love that.
yeah, so that would be my two things which people might be not expecting.
I love that. And question number 5, Venus. If someone made a Venus de Mars action figure, what 3 accessories would have to come with it?
Corset, uh, thigh high stiletto boots, black, patent leather, and star pasties. Yes.
I love it. Venus to Mars, you've been an absolute pleasure. Thanks so much for playing 5 Question with us. Remind everyone where they can find the best place to find your music right now, where they can follow you on social media.
I'm pretty much the only Venus de Mars out there, so just look for it. I'm on Bandcamp and all the socials. You'll find me.
Super duper. Stay on the line for me. Venus, it's been an absolute pleasure. Guys, if it's Tuesday, it's always time for 5 Questions with. Be sure to check out our regular interview. Go listen and buy Venus's music. And stay tuned. We got 2 great days of Left of Straight Show interviews coming up on Wednesday, Thursday. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Bye. Alrighty, guys. If it's Tuesday, it's time for another 5 Questions with right here on Left of Straight Show podcast. In studio with me, the very handsome, the very talented Mr. Daniel Bateman is back. If you missed our interview last week, had a fantastic time talking about his new film, Love Venezia. He is the lead and absolute magical in this lead role, finding love in the streets of Venice. Daniel, welcome back, my friend. How are you?
I am great. I'm excited to be here.
We had a fantastic talk all week. Thanks for sharing the story and how this all came to be made and your amazing journey from acting and everything. You ready to play a little 5 Questions? Oh, have a little fun?
I'm always ready for a little game and to have some fun.
There you go. All righty. Question number 1. We talked a little bit about in your interview that you were traditional, learned all the bases on the way in your acting career, from singing to dancing to acting. Now these days, what's your go-to karaoke song out there, and how do you do with it?
My go-to karaoke song is My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. The reason is because most people don't expect a guy to sing it. And then once you do, everyone loves that song, and then they wait for that big note where you can explode, and I deliver it.
That is amazing. That is a tough song to sing. You go with your bad self.
Absolutely. Hey, it's a song that you can act. You can act it out as well. There's a lot of emotion. I feel like my heart is going to go on. After Love Venezia, I was a little heartbroken. So it was like, my heart's always going to go on.
That would be tough too. We never talked about it in the interview, but I mean, when you have such a perfect love on screen, it's like, can the real relationships ever measure up? That's got to be tough.
It's hard, but I say I celebrate that because when you think about it, even if I don't have that in my personal life, I still, yes, it's a movie, but I had those experiences. I made out with someone on the streets of Venice. I held hands in the rain on a bridge in Venice. I, had sexual intimacy scenes in Venice. So that regardless, even if that never happens in my real life, I still got to experience that over there.
Well said. I love that. That's exactly right. All right, question number 2, my friend. We're big foodies here on Left of Straight Show, and so I always like to throw a good dinner party. If you were able to throw a dinner party, invite any actress or actor, actress, and director, still with us or not, who'd you like to invite to dinner, and what's your go-to meal to serve?
Gosh, I think I would invite Jessica Lange to dinner. She's so intense. I would also have her bring Glenn Close. So I'm saying that there's two, but those two intense women, I would love to just sit there and stare at them and have a conversation and just feel their intensity. I feel like even if we were playing Twister or something, it would just be very intense. So I would
Amazing.
definitely ask them where they find their inner intensity.
Nice. And what actor would you want to pick their brain to or invite? Actor and
Uh,
director.
what director? I would say Martin Scorsese. I think I
Ooh.
would. Yeah, he's such a mysterious, interesting guy to me. You never quite know what he's thinking. He doesn't verbalize it all, but you can kind of see it in the eyebrows. So I would like
He
to know
brings a
what's
lot out
happening.
of his actors. Yeah, that's I
Yeah,
like it.
I would like to see a little bit more of his process and hear what that entails.
And what is your go-to? What do you serve? What's your best meal that you can serve?
Best meal that I can serve. Gosh, I am the wrong person to ask that because I do not cook at all. I spend way too much money going out to eat every night. But I can cook. Um, I would serve like if you came over and had dinner and I had to cook, I would serve you grilled chicken and rice with barbecue sauce because I am from Kansas City and barbecue sauce has to go on everything.
I like it. I'm all for that. Very good. All right. I think we're what? Question number 3. You've grown up in the theater. You've worked both on stage and on film and on television. Do you have any superstitions? Is theaters full of superstitions or any good luck things or anything you have to do before performance?
And he said, no. I mean, I think for me, it's that I make sure not to eat. That's a superstition. I don't believe in eating right before you perform. I believe in like letting yourself kind of be hungry as an actor. I think it kind of adds the intensity. So that's sort of a superstitious thing that I sort of believe that if we're too comfortable or we allow ourselves to be too comfortable, then it takes away from that performance on stage. And we need some of that. We need the nerves and we need that discomfort a little bit.
I like that answer. Very nice. Okay.
Mhm.
Question number 4. You've been doing the business quite a while now. Is there any embarrassing moment from your early acting days that you kind of can look back and laugh on now?
Oh gosh, there's so many. there there are so many. I mean, that's honestly one of my favorite things to do is go through my child acting videos and dance videos and watch all that. But I would say it's probably one of my dance recital videos. It's my funniest, craziest, most embarrassing memory because I was the only guy in a group of like, there were 14 girls and I was the center boy, dancing, and I remember the pants were just slightly too big and they were pinned, and they just started, slowly throughout the entire dance dropping lower and lower and lower, and the whole video you just keep seeing me pull it up until I finally can't anymore, and it does drop. So I guess that's a lie. I guess I have done nudity before, so there you go.
There you go. We learned something new there. I like
Yeah.
that.
Hmm.
Well, speaking of nudity, you showed a little bit in Gently Down the Stream with
Hmm.
our good friend Terry Ray and Michael over at the Bent Theater in Palm Springs. If Rufus, your character in Gently Down the Stream, could give Daniel a little bit of advice, what do you think it would be?
I think Rufus would say to Daniel to stop overthinking, and I think he would tell me to speak my mind a little bit more. I am someone who I like to please. I like to make sure everyone around me is happy. I am the middle child, so I've always sort of been the mediator. I think Rufus would tell me, you know what? If you don't like something or you disagree with something, don't be afraid of conflict and just challenge it.
Good advice for anybody. Go Rufus. I do love that. All righty, very good. Well, Daniel, you made it through 5 questions, my friend. Thank you very
Woo!
much. Remind everybody where they can find you. They can follow you on social media and where they can check out the trailer and be on the lookout for this amazing new film and what you have coming down the pike.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, which is at dbatemanofficial, and you can find out upcoming screening information and details not only on that page, but at dekanga.com, which is Steve Balderson, our director and writer's website. You can click on Love Venezia, and all of the information, trailer link, everything is there as well.
Fantastic. Stay on the line for me, Daniel. So much appreciate having Daniel on. If you did miss our interview, check the link below. Had a fantastic talk with Daniel last week. We'll see you next time on Left of Straight Show interviews. It's 5 questions every Tuesday. We have 2 great new interviews coming up Wednesday and Thursday. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
The show.
If it's Tuesday, it's time for another 5 questions with. Back in studio with me, the always handsome, the always funny, Mr. Frank DeCaro is back in studio with me.
Hi.
If you missed our interview last week, be sure to check the link below. We talked all about Frank's brand new book. It's a disco. Yes, disco is making a return as it should. Frank, welcome back to the show, my friend. How
Thank
are
you.
you?
It's always a pleasure to be with you.
Well, I love talking to you as well, but you ready to do a little 5 questions just for the heck of it?
I love a quickie. Let's do it.
All righty. Question number 1. Let's settle it once and for all. Glitter or sequins? Which screams disco more to you?
Sequins. But really, the big sequins, the ones that are known as paillettes, those really big ones, paillettes is my answer.
I like it. Good answer. All right. Question number 2. If your life had a disco soundtrack, what 3 songs would be on the top of the playlist?
Let's see. Cherchez la Femme by Dr. Buzzard's original Savannah Band. I Feel Love by Donna Summer because it's the greatest disco song ever. And Supernature by Cerrone. I really like that song a lot, and they played it at the Paris Olympics, which I think is great for a disco song. I like that. So those are my 3.
Good answers. All right, question number 3. You've interviewed so many great icons through your radio show and through your 6 books that you've done. Who's the most fabulous person you've ever met or interviewed, and what did they end up teaching you along the way?
My 3, I have to pick 3 idols because I met them all in a short amount of time, and I said I never needed to leave my house again. My 3 idols are Cher, Elton John, and Bette Midler. And Elton John, I think, taught me that more is better, and Cher taught me that you have to be comfortable in your own skin and not fear being yourself. And Bette Midler taught me, fuck them if they can't take a joke. So those are, to quote her, those I think are my 3 biggies. But honestly, when I met all 3 of them, I really thought I was going to just plot because it was just,
wow.
I had a therapist once say, she told her son, you can't go inside the TV. And I was like, oh, no, you can. You really can go inside the TV. I've done it. You can meet those people that you were, 10 years old and sitting watching on, those 3 were all in the first Cher special that led to her TV show. So it's like which is my favorite thing that's ever been on television. And so there's the 3 of them, and I got to meet them all. Yeah, I'm the lucky. Pee Wee Herman used to say he was the luckiest boy in the world. I'm the luckiest boy in the world now. So
fantastic. Oh my God. And 3 wonderful life lessons from each of them. I love that.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about what I learned from them, but they really did. They just sort of showed me who I wanted to be, and I always, they say really to aim high, and so to want to sort of be, you get to write books about disco if you shoot to be Elton John. Most of us will never, 99.999% of us will never get to that icon status. But if you aim high, you get to have an awful lot of fun and have a good life for yourself. So
I never understood that never meet your heroes because you'll be disappointed. I think that they just met the wrong people. I don't know. I think there's
even though the ones I like the ones I've met, and you learn that they're people too.
Right.
I mean, you meet them, you think, I mean, this is tales out of school. I thought, oh, I think I could be friends with Cher. I don't think I could be friends with Bette Midler. I mean, I just don't think we would get on as friends. But I adore her. I mean, but I
Right.
just, she's tough for me. I mean, I was like, no, it's not my. But Cher, I'll go make coffee for Cher. I'll do it in a heartbeat.
I hear that. All right, question number 4, my friend. You and I are big foodies. You've written a fantastic cookbook about it. Imagine you're hosting a disco-themed dinner party. What's on the menu, and which famous disco star should be sitting at the head of the table?
Can they be? And they can be dead. It's all right
Yeah.
if they're okay. I did have lunch with Donna Summer, and that's why the interview is in my book. I have an interview I did in 1999 that never saw the light of day. That's in the book. So Donna Summer would have to be the guest of honor because she is the queen of disco. But at the other end of the table, and you want to keep a safe distance, is the other queen of disco, Sylvester. Because he used to say, she's not the queen of disco, I'm the queen of disco, which I think is kind of genius. But I would have them. Now, what would we put on the menu? Why would I do a pasta dish? Because that's what I'm really good at. I might make pasta with, my favorite thing is pasta with broccoli rabe and sausage, or a ketty with broccoli rabe and sausage. So I would make them that, and if they didn't like it, they could order in. So,
I love it. And question number 5. So, doing all the research for this fantastic book, was there any outrageous or surprising disco rumor you heard that you're not really sure if it was true or not, but anything that anyone dished on?
I can't name names. However, someone very openly gay said to me, well, the reason he's not going to do the interview is because he doesn't want anybody to know he's gay, this other person. And they said, that's why he's never going to sit for you for an interview. But the way he put it was, he said, she doesn't think anyone knows. So anyway, but it was someone whose persona is very heterosexual, who was in disco. And this other person who was a little more loose-lipped was teasing me, and you know what, they wouldn't do an interview with me, which I think is funny. But and it's not, and honestly, when you do find out, you're like, oh, it's not that shocking. It's not like finding out Barry Gibb is gay. It's not like that.
Right.
But it's one of those performers where you're just like, of course he's gay. Oh, I guess he. So I remember there was a girl, she was like a friend of mine, his niece was like 10, and she said to her mother, she said, Uncle Chuck is gay, and she said, and the 10-year-old said, does he know? That's the way I kind of feel about this guy. It's like, do you know? Do you know?
Right.
But yeah, but there's that. So but yeah, that was the juiciest thing, and it makes me laugh so much to hear. I do love one icon talking about another. It just really makes me giggle when because they're gossiping the way we gossip about our friends. You go to a party and you're standing there with your drink going, oh, look who's across the room. It's like, ugh, and so to hear people whose records you've bought saying it about each other is just very funny to me.
That is the best. I love that.
Yeah, it tickles me.
You made it. What's that?
I said it tickles me. It's like, this is the kind of thing when you're a little kid and you're pop culture obsessed, and suddenly you're gossiping with one icon about another. It doesn't get better than that. So.
Exactly. Frank DeCaro, I love having you on. Thanks for playing 5 questions. You made it through. Remind everyone where they can find this amazing book and where they can follow you on social media, because you're so prolific.
Yes, follow me at Frank DeCaro Show on Instagram, particularly. Everything's always on there. And you can order it on, people are like, well, I should buy it in an independent bookstore. If you want to support an independent bookstore, that's fantastic, and you should. If you're doing it to help me, You can buy it on Amazon and it's cheaper, and I don't care. It's cheaper for you. I get a nickel, so it doesn't really matter. So it's just buy it where you can get it. And if you see me and you have it in your trunk, I will happily sign it. And I hope you, and more than anything, I hope you enjoy it. And I hope you listen to some great disco music and watch some terrible disco movies, and really, put on those platform shoes and make it happen.
There you go. Well, I got my advanced copy. I am loving every second of it.
An advanced copy of this book? Okay.
Yes, that book. All right, guys. Frank, stay on the line. Guys, if it's Tuesday, it's always time for 5 Questions With. I got 2 great new interviews every Wednesday and Thursday on Left of Straight Show interviews. Be sure to look for that. And you can catch my entire conversation with Frank right on the link below. Have a great week, everyone. See you later.
Thank you for listening to our bonus podcast, 5 Questions With. Be sure to look for us every Tuesday as we bring back some of your favorite guests from the previous week's interviews and some special best of 5 questions guests as well. If you haven't subscribed yet or hit the like button, tap those buttons now to help other people find Left of Straight podcasts. We appreciate you for listening and look for our interviews with your favorite LGBTQ and straight allies from entertainment, foodies, music, books, and advocacy. We'll see you next week, because if it's Tuesday, it's time for 5 Questions With.